You're watching Show Me Your Pick with Fruitcake Tony, and this is Cher from Vixen. You better watch this show.
Hey, happy Saturday night. Yeah, it is. It is March the 26th, 2022. Show me your pick on Saturday with Sandra, Brendan, Tommy, and Charles Greene. How you guys doing?
Showing you my pick.
It's a great night to be streaming, everybody.
Yeah, it is. All right.
Exciting.
That's cool.
I'll show you mine. That's the closest one.
I like those, Charles. Those are the ones that Chris Sauer sent us, right?
Yes, they are.
Those are freaking fantastic.
Yeah, machine
What
shot.
a rocker, dude. My goodness. Hey, let's not forget, guys. Yeah, baby.
All right. Don't you have the new ones? You don't.
Which one?
Oh, they're in the mail.
Okay.
Are we talking to Quentin James?
No, you got the new butt cheeks, the new enhanced.
Oh
butt
yeah,
cheeks.
yeah. I just happened to. I've got to see one of these, Brendan.
Oh yeah.
This really cool dude gave me as a gift, and so I've got him on there. It's all good, buddy.
Tommy got his when he was, recuperating. Hope that brought a smile to your face.
There they are.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I got mine right here.
That's right in the right spot there, T.
Enhanced butt cheeks. Is that what you said?
That's it. Enhanced butt cheeks.
Nice.
And inside is a whole lot of other of your body parts, I guess, too, right?
That's it.
I'm not using them, so. Hey, don't show the front.
Oh no!
Just call me Stubby.
That's why I got that there.
There you go. I need to get one of those on the front of mine.
Beg my pardon.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. So a lot of guitar picks are all over the place.
Oh, look at
of course. I woke up this morning to a text message from my friend John with some terrible news.
I can't believe that, man.
Thank you so much.
Some terrible damn news from yesterday. Yeah, so apparently on tour in Argentina, Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins.
Still can't believe it, man.
Unbelievable.
Has passed away at age
50.
Damn, that's young.
That's the heart. That was the heartbeat of the Foo Fighters, man.
Too young and too talented.
Unbelievable.
That is Dave's best friend.
Yeah.
And Chevy Metal.
And Chevy Metal.
I couldn't.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, me either. I'm just like.
I think I'm in shock. Yeah.
I just feel so bad for Dave right now. Imagine, being on tour and.
Oh, I know. It was like an hour before they went on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that any of them or their families have begin to process it. It's
No.
so new.
No.
You know.
I think they're probably in disbelief.
It's unbelievably tragic. Unbelievably. I just.
Yeah, that was I couldn't believe what I was reading.
Yeah.
I
know. Me either.
Man.
I thought you guys had the name wrong when you were talking about that. I'm like, wait, no, you don't mean that.
Yeah.
Taylor.
I know. I said the same thing, Tommy, because I was looking through like Facebook and stuff, and I started seeing all these posts, and I was like, what? And then I was like, oh no. Yeah.
Can't be true, but it's true.
Oh God.
Wow.
I know, and you know, look at Grohl, Dave Grohl, Kurt, and then now Taylor. It's like, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, Ed put it in Dave's second bandmate tragedy. Yeah, it's freaking rough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around for more than 25 years, the Foo Fighters. You know,
long time.
Longer than that even. I mean,
that's absolutely right.
That's when Taylor joined 25 years ago.
He joined it at age 25. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was Alanis Morissette's drummer before.
And they're another band that spans massive generations. My kids and my grandchildren, we're all supposed to go to the Foo Fighters at the end of this year whenever they've got tickets. I don't know when the show is. But it was all expected.
Yeah.
They're devastated.
I was going in May here in Raleigh.
Yeah.
I think that's around the time when they were supposed to be going.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think they're gonna. They may not continue as a band. You know.
I don't know how they really could, but that's not my place to say. But you know, I'm sure the rest of this tour, in my mind, should be canceled.
I'm sure it's canceled.
Yeah,
I mean, it should be scratched.
Janice, I just want to say one thing. They did find 10 drugs in a system, but a lot of those, I have severe anxiety myself, and a lot of those drugs are stuff that people take for anxiety. So
yeah, absolutely.
If I died tomorrow of something, they would find multiple drugs in my system. Doesn't mean anyone's abusing it.
No.
If you look at what the actual drugs were, I can tell you from experience and from friends that I've lost that was an accidental kind of thing, because most of the stuff in his system, other than THC, which would be in my system as well, was stuff you take for anxiety and depression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that looks like it's a large number, but you know, I take a couple things in small doses, so mine would come up the same way. You know what I mean?
It's too early to speculate, and they really shouldn't be putting that stuff out yet. But I mean, I know it comes out, so I know they put it out in front of everybody else.
Right. So I mean, I just wanted to put it out there because I know
you're right.
People see the number and think that's crazy, and I've been on that many drugs. I mean, including all my heart medications and stuff at once, it would be 12 medications approximately right now would be in my system.
I'm
so you know,
for my kidneys and shit. So
yeah, it's sad all around though.
It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, and we all hope.
Well, we know, Janice. No, we know.
We all hope that it doesn't end up being, you know, Taylor has had a little bit of a history there, so
Dave was even helping him with it.
We hope that it's not that. So,
but anytime I see antidepressants and benzodiazepines, I immediately think anxiety and depression and panic disorder, which all go hand in hand. You know.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's sad news.
Yep.
All right, let's do roll call.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Who we got?
Squared. Ed. Hi, Ed.
Yeah.
Just
Keith
Ed.
Janice Lala.
Janice.
You're all good. Ruben Beekman. Hello.
Hey,
welcome. Jimmy Ray Hawkins.
Hey, Ruben. Well,
hey,
Jimmy.
Thomas Santiago.
Hey, Thomas.
Keith, I think they said Keith. Christopher Sowell. Dana, New Jersey.
Christopher, Dan.
Tim. Thomas.
Tim, what's going on, brother?
What's up, dude?
Oops.
Yeah,
Oh,
scrolling
I
up.
think I said him. Yeah, I'm scrolling all the way up
All
to
right.
the top.
And back down. We'll catch them
Yep.
as they roll in.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I might meander off pretty soon. What do you got new this week? Anything? Ah.
Nice.
Wiener
Nice.
dog.
A wiener dog pick.
Wiener
Of
dog.
course.
Look at the
Chili Willy, courtesy of Lita Ford. Yeah.
That's really cool.
my heart barkies.
And a little something.
Aldo Nova.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's great. That's cool.
And yeah. But so at some point, don't let me forget, we do have, I pulled out some Chevy metal picks.
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool.
Taylor Hawkins sideband, and we'll get around to those. Yeah, we did. I'm gonna open up this packet EVH picks that's not max grip. You know, I just realized unless they're brand new. I always thought that all the EVH stuff since like 2006 was max grip, but they're actually Dunlop Tortex, but they're not max grip.
Huh.
Well,
fuck.
I thought they were all max grip as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But those are 1.0. I need more heavy picks around here. Base picks. Yeah. All right. So we have a special guest with us tonight. And I am very excited. And we are honored around here to have a guy of his stature in the guitar pick collecting world. You know, a lot of us collect guitar picks, and if you collect guitar picks, you know who our guest is, and he's got a brand new book too, and we're gonna dive into it.
Nice.
But yeah.
Very cool.
So, all right. So are you gonna stay? Or are you gonna go, Sandra?
I'll probably bug out.
All right.
Should I stay?
But bring him in first. Let's not keep him waiting any longer.
She has her own hands over there and her own mouth that she can. Yeah.
And
all
round
right.
of applause for Sandra for all the work she does.
Yeah.
There you go. You got that right. You got that right.
Thank you.
Keeps the train running.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Here I go. Here it comes.
All right.
I'm on my way.
Look out, chat. Look out.
So
here she goes.
Make room,
guys and gals, our guest tonight is in my eyes, he is the biggest name in guitar pick collecting. He's done a lot for this hobby. This book, his second book, they're the only ones of this kind about this stuff, you know. And he does a convention too out on the West Coast. We'll talk about that. But let's go ahead and let's bring him
in.
Amen, for sure.
All right, kids. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Bouchard. There he is.
Yeah, Brian.
Nice to see you, man.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Good,
Great.
Brian. How you doing, dude?
Cool. Pretty good.
Welcome, man.
You know, Brian,
Thanks for having
I was telling you earlier before the show that we hang around Tony, and he's a nerd, man. He's a collector nerd, major league, right? And
Yep.
dude, you're in like another class, bro. This is you're his idol. I mean, you are like his idol, and this is so cool to experience this thing right now.
Cool.
I'm dying to hear
Yeah.
all about these picks. I didn't realize really how far back picks span, how many different types there are. It's ridiculous. And I got a bunch of questions for you too, like everybody else. So welcome, bro. Welcome, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
100%.
Welcome, Brian. So me and Brian have kind of known who I've known who you are, Brian, for a long time. And we've corresponded over the years
Yep.
along the way. So not to jump ahead, but this book, when you wrote number 1, that was when in 08, is that right, Brian?
Yep. 2008.
Okay. All right. So at that point in time, what was the motivation to write a book on guitar pick? And yeah.
Well, I mean, it started a long time ago when I was, a little kid. I collected everything, rocks, coins, marbles, whatever. And then when I started getting into rock and roll, we get the posters, those little mirrors you got at the carnival, and belt buckles, and of course, Kiss. Kiss was the first 8-track and album I had. So, and they're the king of merchandising. So I had a lot of Kiss stuff, the comics and the little model vans and stuff like that. The belt buckles. I used to collect a lot of beer bottle caps. I love the ones with the little puzzles in the back. So I'm I've always been a collector, and I collect a lot of rock and roll memorabilia coming up. And then at one point I looked, and it was mostly Kiss, and it was mostly picks, especially once was it 97 or so, when I really got online, and found PickNet, Pick Collectors group on Yahoo. Steve Leavitt organized that, and then eBay. I saw all the the early stuff. It was a gold mine on eBay. You could get stuff. Of course, the best way to get a pick is to get it placed in your hand by your favorite guitarist, or get it catch one in a concert. But after the fact, I was always drawn to the older stuff from the 70s and 80s. That's the music I like. So once that's passed, I mean, the only way to get them is on eBay. And pretty soon I found out I had a lot of Kiss picks. So I decided to just collect picks. And then it just kind of grew from there.
So there was that one moment, though. What was the fire? What was the first guitar pick that you ever caught at a show? There was some spark that started all this, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So when 1980, I started going to concerts, and I always, even if I had the cheap sheet tickets, I've always worked my way to the front, try to get on against the stage. But I'd always miss out on the picks, and it was disappointing. And then it wasn't until 1988, back to Kiss. Gene Simmons flew one out towards me, and I caught it.
Nice.
And instantly addicted to picks at that point.
Wow, that is so cool.
Right on.
That is
Very
so
cool.
Right
And
on.
then it just grew. So I'm that annoying guy you see at against the rails, asking for a pick at every show.
Had you collected any picks before prior to that, or was that literally the very first pick?
That was my first one. My first one I ever owned. The other stuff, I had a lot of Kiss stuff, but that was my first pick.
Wow, that's the spark that Tony was talking about then.
Yeah,
wow.
and okay. Just like you remember Steve Rosen talking about, how he got a Jimi Hendrix pick and how it's just so addicting. It truly is.
By the way, the foreword that Steve Rosen does in that book is one of the best forewords I've ever read. It's absolute Steve Rosen, and he didn't pull any punches. Classic Steve, and he gives you honor, bro.
He never
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, he can lay it down like no other.
Very cool.
Yes, he can.
Let me show that. Let me see how I want to do this. All right. I'm gonna try. My mouse doesn't want to work. All right.
Yeah, Steve Rosen.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah. Well written.
Yep.
Very well written.
There's a special thing on page 3, isn't there, T? Guitar Picks of Rock and Roll, Volume 2. That's so cool, man.
So what sparked Volume 2, Brian?
So I did
1.
Well, Volume 1, it wasn't really supposed to be a book. It was just I have a very poor memory, so I just record everything so I could remember, which pick came from where and who and what tour, etc. And then when I mentioned Picnic earlier, there's a lot of conversations about how to store, how to write down the best of. That photo just showed is Pick Collectors Convention a year or so ago.
And you do that in the West Coast? You do that in California? Or?
So this next one's in June, and it's the same weekend as NAMM. So we those going to the convention there can also go to the Pick Collecting Convention, and hopefully Steve and Brandon Mullally and Chris Bello and John Elliott's hosting again, and Don and everybody else.
Nice shirt, Steve.
Yep. Yep. He's wearing a Fruitcake Tony shirt.
These guys that you see there, whether you know them or not, in this hobby are all heavy hitters. I assure you. Yeah.
Have you ever been to the East Coast, Brian, or just strictly West?
So back in the Picnic days, they had 2 conventions back then in the 90s. And I was so disappointed I didn't get to go to them, but I think one was in Florida. I forget where the other one was. But next year, in 23, we're going East Coast. Then we got a lot of offers to people who want to host it or help with it. And I'm outside Baltimore, so So we're going East Coast next year.
Oh, very cool.
It seems like a really positive community. I know you guys deal nowadays with, there's a lot of counterfeit and things that go on nowadays as technology gets better. People can cheat and do things that they shouldn't. What do you consider to be, I guess it's subject to the person who has it, but I was going to ask you, what do you consider to be like the rarest pick?
Good question.
Something
played by Mary Fender. I mean, are we talking that old?
That's hard to answer. I mean, there's a
I
bunch
imagine
of picks.
I imagine it would be. I actually should have rethought the question.
Well,
a little bit.
it's kind of subjective too, Charles.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
maybe the most iconic or the most sought after
yeah,
is different than the most famous. Right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
that Jimi Hendrix pick that Steve got, that I did purchase that from him. He did that poster back in 1975, way back when.
Yep.
He was smart enough to put it into print in Guitar Player magazine, and along with a bunch of others. And I'll probably show you here in a little bit.
Sure.
I used
so,
to have that in here loaded. I don't think I have it anymore.
So it has the provenance and everything.
Yeah, so even though it doesn't say Jimi Hendrix, and a lot of us pick collectors like to have the band name on there because, just because it's a Manny's pick,
right?
And there is so many. I have tons of Manny's picks, but there's only one Jimi Hendrix pick that we can know with certainty that Jimmy played with.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, Steve told us the story here about getting that pick.
Yep, I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
Great story.
That's kind of how I met Steve too. It was a number of years ago. I'd always ask him over the years, like, "Hey, do you want to sell those picks that are in that 1975 poster?"
Right.
And then half the times he wouldn't even answer. The other half would be like, "No, they're not for sale. They're my personal collection." So I was like, and I had to honor that. And then out of the blue, he asked me if I was still interested, and I was like, yeah. So that's how I acquired that one.
You got to catch Steve in the right day.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to sell. All right, let's go.
I'm pretty sure he probably regrets it now, but I don't know. But yeah, he.
That's definitely a holy grail pick for sure.
Yeah, man. That's
awesome. And a lot of those picks in that poster are, it's Tony Iommi's first pick, BB King's first pick, Leslie West's first pick. So it's just an awesome collection that I'm happy to own.
But it's true. You said, I mean, they're in print, so they're there. I mean, it's like he's got it recorded. Right.
He was smart, and this publisher thought he was crazy, but he was. He's one of the earliest pick nerds there were. So.
Yeah.
He could see the future of it. Yeah.
Right. Cake. You don't have to really own one to right. Sometimes you can give them away and have them curated other places. Right. I'm alluding to something else. But.
In this book, though, it covers many insuring your collection, caring for your collection.
Do you keep your most prized ones? Are they like humidity controlled, or are they like in a safe?
Yeah. So humidity and light are like the two biggest problems for pick collectors. Oh, absolutely. Here, look. So even this. I don't know if you see this.
Yep.
So this was kept in a frame in a little holder, but you see at the bottom.
That's probably the color of the pick, right? Purple.
That was the original color of the pick.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
It was.
Yeah. It was. You don't recognize that signature.
Yeah, Steve Clark.
Steve Clark. Yeah.
Wow.
So even though that was behind a what do you call it? UV protective glass.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
In the frame, light.
Yeah.
So I keep mine. I keep mine in the dark.
In the dark.
I put these little silicone pad, those
silica
things
packs. The silica packs. And they're right.
To extract the moisture out of the air. Those are the two big killers. Now modern picks, they're not as sensitive, but the old picks are
the old celluloid. Picks, the Dunlop, the old Dunlops, they'll warp.
And
Brian, what's the oldest pick that you have? And so what's the difference in the composition of that pick as opposed to something a little more modern?
So I collect not only artist picks, but also non-artist picks. But so I have a pick from, his name was Ferdinand Cristofaro. 1891 or so.
Holy moly!
And it has his name on there. It has Paris impressed into it.
That's awesome.
So in 1891, they had the technology to do all that, the printing technology to do that.
Well, not printing
Are
per
those,
se.
are those picks, are they pressed out of, or are they cast into? Were they cast?
They're into old celluloid, and or somewhere into like real tortoise shell.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Probably had to carve one way
and
back
then.
then.
And then in the 30s, 40s, there were other popular, mandolins were the rage back then, or it wasn't, electric guitar. So that there had famous people like promoting, being sponsors for these picks, and they would sell them in stores, and then later on, Les Paul in the 50s came out. There was 40s or 30s or 40s. Gene Autry actually had a signature pick. Impressed in the pick. And so it's amazing that technology existed back then.
Was that from the 40s? You said the Gene Autry was the 40s? Okay.
40s to 50s.
Yeah. 40s, 50s. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I imagine some people would collect, specific collectors out there might just collect mandolin picks and be into that specific thing. I guess the genre there is no definitive.
There's got to be little niches here and there, right?
All over the place. Yeah. So what you collect is just a personal choice. Yeah. Some people collect. I know one guy, his specialty. He was in that photo at the convention. Pink colored picks is his thing. So
pink picks.
He has pink. Yep. The colored pink, whatever.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. I bet he knows John Mancuda.
Maybe.
I bet he does.
So and then there's different types of picks. This type of celluloid, early 70s or around 68 to 73 or so, very popular. It's just a cool color.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Clapton had something like that. And some people just like concentrate on picks that they just like, or bands that they like. Some are purists. Some are purists and only collect the picks that they get in concert, or handed to them by guitarists, or bands that they love. Like there's a lot of Kiss pick collectors. They're pretty much like that. They, all things Kiss picks or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how wide your pick net actually goes. Do you specify in any specific genre other than just rock and roll? Personally, you would obviously, if somebody had a pick and it was a very valuable pick, you're a collector, you're going to get it because of whatever the connection is.
So I'm stuck in like the 70s and 80s music wise.
Okay.
And so are my picks. If you look at the cover of the book, that's what I collect. That's all those picks on the cover are mine. What I like. Pink Floyd, Aerosmith.
I smiled when I saw the cover.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Yeah. Brian is a very modest guy, but he does have a sick collection. I mean, incredible. And it's like Brian said, some collect certain bands that they like, and I think all collectors really, Brian, are kind of guilty of that. I try to collect in all genres, but there are some that I like. But it all too is based on your experience of how you obtain the picks and the memorabilia and what your connections are or have been for years, and how you've surmounted the collection. And I don't know anybody. I know one or two, but I've been lucky, I guess we'll say, to have what I have. But there are some bands like Eric Clapton or the Stones that that have a lot of variations of guitar picks, multiple ones for multiple players on each tour, and after some of those, it's tough to keep up with, but you know.
Brian, do you have an absolute favorite band? Is you know, your first pick was Kiss, but who's your favorite band to collect?
So my favorite band is probably still Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
But I, Pink Floyd's up there. There's so many bands. I mean, I'm a music lover like you all are, so it's hard to pinpoint. And Jimi Hendrix, he was one of a kind. Stevie Ray Vaughan. I wish I would have got to see him back in the day.
Yeah, no kidding, buddy. I hear you there. Wow.
I haven't gotten to see a lot of people that I wanted to, but yes, they are, Mr. Sawa. Ace Frehley picks are fire.
Yes, they are, Christopher.
So here's another thing. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a metal Ace Frehley pick.
Oh, wow.
That was fan made. There's two of them.
Oh, cool.
It has Kiss on one side, his signature on the other. That's back in, when they first started, and he kept it in his ashtray in his car for 2 years. I got it from his best friend, who's one of the co-authors of Kiss and Tell. So that, is that considered an authentic Kiss pick? Some people say no, but I think it's cool. I think it's part of history. Too. That's in the book. Same thing with this. I'm not sure.
The Eagles, Joe Walsh is great. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this, either a fan made pick or maybe a radio station. Mm-hmm. Hard to say. So it's not an Eagles pick per se, but I still consider it part of history.
It means something.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Let me change views here. So in this, it begins and it basically starts with accept.
Cool.
Balls to the wall.
And goes
through ZZ Top,
all the way.
AC/DC, all the way to
That's awesome.
ZZ Top.
And these are all your picks, right, Brian? These are all picks.
No.
Okay.
God, I wish that
would be cool.
So I tend to keep just the best of the like, especially I like the rookie card. I like the first pick. So like those Joe Perry's, I have all those first ones, the white and the baby blues.
Send you these pictures, or do you just curate them other ways?
Yeah. So for years, I begged and asked for photos.
Okay.
Brian, it was such a group effort. If you look at the beginning, the acknowledgments, there's like 100 people I recognized, and then there's a group, a bigger group, actually a smaller group of bigger fish, I would say. Doug Baker, Scott Roderick, Brandon Mullally, Clark Sieber, John Elliott, who have incredible collections, and they allowed me to send me all the photos, or I went to their homes and we went through each one. I took good photos of each. And then Brian D'Amico is that Aldo Nova pick is not Aldo Nova, the Adam Ant on the other side is a one of a kind. Now, is it the most popular pick? Probably not, but
that's cool.
But Brian D'Amico really helped me out the last couple of years. COVID really helped bring the book together. There's some photos I'd like to improve on, but
they're great
that's what
pictures.
I'm looking for.
Really good detail, great pictures.
That's what
Which
I'm
one?
looking for.
Now,
autograph. Okay.
Tony, is that to complete a set?
No, that's just the one I've been hunting.
It's just
years.
the one.
So Brian, my question is there any one pick that you have that is on your radar to complete a set that you're trying to keep or trying to build?
Complete a set. Not that I can think of. I have a very short, I've been fortunate. I bought a lot of collections. I keep the best and sell the rest.
That's cool.
I have a very short list of picks I want. And there's people like Brian D'Amico, Clark Siever, and Doug, others who have it, but it's their, among their favorites as well.
I got you. I got you. Very cool.
Brian's collection. Brian probably doesn't buy any picks anymore. I mean,
no, I'll buy a collection if there's picks in it I want, and then like I said, I sell the rest to help support my addiction.
It was a good analogy with the baseball cards, because you get the whole deck to get a couple of players you want, and then
Yep.
That's a great analogy.
I'm looking for a band that I saw in here. And
Tony's like, you guys go about what you're doing. I'm just
no. So Nantucket, where's that?
Yeah.
Right there, Nantucket.
Yeah, we talked about them, didn't we, T?
Local Perry Richardson was in Nantucket.
Yeah. We had Perry Richardson on the show a while back. That was
Local
a great
band
great show.
Here,
Yep. Now he's with Striper.
Coolness.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those picks are very hard to find. They don't show up very often at all.
And the Night Ranger and the
little thumb picks.
I think I showed a Jack little thumb pick.
Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy question, Brian. I actually could have asked Tony this question at any time. I could have asked him today at lunch, but I saved it for you.
Okay.
Metal guitar picks. When did you see them come onto the scene first? Who did you see using them, if you remember? And what do you think about them now as opposed to collectability and things like that?
So the ones that are, because a lot of the metal guitar picks were kind of generic or self-made, so it's hard to verify that in fact that artist used that pick.
Okay.
And a lot of them, use the coins. And a lot of people know about Brian May and his sixpence coins.
Sure.
And then Billy Gibbons with his Mexican coins. Silver. They tend to go from 1964. That's when a lot of coins were silver, and that's when they kind of changed to less silver.
Okay.
So they tend to go to that. Some like stainless steel, like Ricky Medlock, but it's just it's hard. There's not a lot of them that are stamped with their names on it. You know what I'm saying? Except for Brian's May coins, and I think most of them are commemorative or promos he gives away.
I got you. That's the pence, I think, is what we're talking about, right? Yeah. Sixpence.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about artists and their guitar picks, and it's really, I think, the only person that I would feel comfortable having this conversation with would be you, Brian. It's kind of a taboo subject in this hobby. Randy Rhoads. And the Aussie picks that I just showed, the red on yellow picks. There's a story behind those, and the black, the gold block on black pick that.
I think it's silver, but yeah.
So what do you know about these?
So. Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know per se, but I hear a lot of stories. I talk to a lot of people that red on yellow, if it is an Aussie pick, it may be a Brad Gillis, but most people think it may be bogus. It just I don't totally trust it. I have to. The other ones, now there's a collector who's been doing it even longer than I have that I totally trust. He swears it is legit. but there's tons of Randy fans out there who will yell and scream that there is no such thing as that pick right there. It's not. It wasn't authorized. It's so it's hard. It's hard to say. That yellow one. The guy who originally sold that, I was there. In the eBay days when he was selling it back 10 plus years ago. He's legit. He was in the business. He's a guitarist. But so many people came out and said that's not. Said
it came from a rehearsal space in the UK.
Yeah,
what you heard?
Yeah. It was in a. I don't know if it was in the UK. I can't remember, but it was just it was in like this fishbowl in a studio.
Had it been played?
No, he just took a bunch of them, and that's the thing. So a lot of these, haven't been played with, and picks in general. Unless you were there and caught the show, there's a lot of picks that the techs, sorry to say, would sell on the side. They'd order an extra gross or two, and because they weren't getting paid a lot, I guess, or whatever, for whatever reason, they had people that they knew they could sell it to.
Sure.
So which is the case in Def Leppard. You see the one with the yellow Steve Clark.
Yeah.
That one was never played with by Steve Clark, but yet you'll see it on eBay, every year or two, being sold for good money.
Yeah, right. But those two, and you have it in here. Where is it at?
Interesting. A quick question, if I can. I saw Dan of New Jersey in our chat. I love our chat, by the way. You guys rock. He mentions a point. He says, well, why doesn't someone just ask Brad? And I would say part of the vetting process of the actual picks would have to kind of be that kind of thing at some time, wouldn't it? I mean, couldn't Brad Gillis say, yeah, I remember that? I mean, although how many picks has Brad Gillis seen? He might just be like, I have no idea.
So I've asked a lot of techs and some of the guitarists themselves. They don't remember the 80s and 70s very well, especially guitar picks.
I remember it really well, guys. I don't know about you, but
but guitar picks back then, it wasn't a big thing to them, per se. They didn't remember which tour they played with, or they'll remember which ones they used. So in the past, I've I'm friends with Joe Walsh's pick tech, and so he clarified some things, which were his and which weren't. I tried, and there's a lot of us pick nerds out there who've tried to verify to the best of their ability to get to ask the guitarists themselves or the techs who ordered the picks whether or not where they came from.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Any info on
anything
history of
I imagine so.
Yeah. We're pretty tenacious.
I would imagine you guys. So you Brian, just to go back to your beginnings, I believe you were saying that in '85 is kind of when you really got the bug for rock memorabilia. What were you into as a young boy again? What can you remember the very first thing you were into collecting? Was it like rocks or was it
the one
this kind of thing
that stuck out
at an early age?
Was that bottle, those beer bottle caps for whatever reason, whatever an 8-year-old collects. And just try to find one of every example that I could find.
I gotcha. Now, do you still have them?
No, I do not. No, I gave them to my brother when I've been with the Army since 1985. That's when I came in, in one way or another. So I left a lot of stuff there.
By the way, thank you for your service, brother. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then rock memorabilia is always my thing. And the posters. I had that Farrah Fawcett poster, which I loved. But everything else was rock and roll. Yeah, I don't have mine either.
Everybody had that poster. That's the best poster, man.
But I did have one, just like every other male in the chat had one.
And for a while, those belt buckles, Pacifica or whoever made them, you know, I had the Rush, I had Van Halen, I had Kiss. I started collecting those too.
But the jean jackets with the patches and stuff, like those patches on the jean jackets.
Yeah.
Yep.
And later on,
something that we don't really talk about here either too much. You know, as a collector, you use your best judgment, and if you're a music fan and a collector, you've seen these guitar picks, you know the band's history, what all the guitar picks of each tour in the band's history look like, you know, but so you develop a good eye for, you know, somebody who's new to collecting that might not have that back history of these tours and what these guitar players played with and what the guitar picks looked like. They don't know all this, but so
that's the main reason. That's one of the main reasons I put the book and the vast majority of it being photos, because there's a lot of fakes out there, like we mentioned earlier. And
let me give us an example of this guy.
Yeah.
Now I only have one of these, and I doubt I'll ever have any more. I think it's this one. But so talk a minute, Brian, about there can't be very many Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar picks in the world. You know?
So Stevie, I mean, of course, he wasn't like you know, Kiss or Cheap Chick picks where there's thousands and thousands of them. But actually, I mean, there's a bunch out there, but they're just so no one gets rid of them. You know, they don't become available. There's the second one right there.
Cool. Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
I have his first one in the frame.
Brian, I got an interesting question. I think we were just looking at a page of, I believe those were Van Halen guitar picks.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, and do you know who actually has the metal guitar picks that Eddie used to throw in his mouth?
I know one person. He's kind of a he's not out there he's on social media, but he doesn't show his stuff. He's kind of quiet about everything. I'm going to respect his privacy.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, I know a Van Halen fanatic who has pretty close to every Eddie pick that ever was. So
really, that is, and he's like a private guy. That is cool.
Pretty much. As far as what's in his collection,
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that. My collection is not the best collection out there. There's I could probably name 5 people that have better collection. I have a lot of the rarities. But there's other people who also have, you know, like Brian D'Amico, the people I mentioned earlier, and there's people out there who aren't on social media that people don't even know about. You know, we call them the urban legends. They have. The good thing about this book is, you know, I know who they are. I reached out to them, and I know what's in their collection. So it's good intel for me. But there's people who don't get the credit they deserve. So when you start, my name's well known.
Do you see them at the conventions or no? Or do you just not
hopefully,
even then?
I'm trying to get them to the convention. No, there was a few at the last convention that you saw out there. John Elliott and Brandon Mullally, you know, had excellent collections.
Cool.
Let me ask you a question about metal guitar picks, and I'm going to change this. And I know you've seen this, but there are, as he said, there are a lot of imitations that show up, especially in light of somebody passing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was always my impression that if it came from a metal guitar pick, that it was the metal, the metal in the print ink on the surface, or if it were stamped in the itself,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
not
pressed into it. Sure.
a metal guitar pick, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or whatever. But that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
But this, we've all seen this. What do you think about? You've seen
Eddie's.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
That I don't know what's true or not, whether it's cancerous or not. I know that's what he thought it might be. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other.
That picture that you just showed.
There's some kind of price tag on it too.
That pick that you just showed, was that Eddie's supposed to be Eddie's pick? Is that what you just showed?
Yep.
I've never seen that photograph before.
I haven't either.
I am so flippin' intrigued right now. I want to climb through the screen. This is way cool. I've never seen that.
You can be more intrigued if you send that dude
how much?
25 grand to his PayPal.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to, I've got to look, and I just want to investigate it and look and see, like, how many mil is it? Is it thick? Is it 2 millimeter? It looks like it's quite thick, actually. What's it made
of?
Look pretty
brass?
Thick. Is that brass with stainless steel inlays? Who the heck made that thing for him? Did he make it himself?
It was machined, yeah.
I can see Eddie making it. I can see him at the drill press. I can see him doing it right now. But
there's no way of knowing. And there's a story with it, but it ain't no affidavit.
Wow.
And the picks he played with were thin normally.
Right.
So I don't understand that one.
Tony, it's a $24,999 story with a $1 pick.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Steve. I'm sure Steve knows a story or two. You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a lot of thieves out there. There's picks, Kurt Cobain picks on eBay that weren't even they weren't even made when he was alive.
Right.
The Tortex logo.
Yeah.
We were talking about. Yeah. We were talking about that. Yep.
Yep. Brandon Mulally. He has this Facebook group called Guitar Pick Scammers and Fakes or something like that. And and he and a bunch of other watchdogs who point, can see stuff right away. They know by the shape of the shoulders or the type of font. They can tell when it's off, and they can tell when
what era it is.
Some punk in Tampa Bay is selling on eBay as a legit pick when it's not.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's tough too, because you could get taken advantage of if you really don't know.
But it's buyer beware, of course.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah. So I get a lot of people who like the book, but they also collect newer picks. Mine only goes to like around 1990 or so. But you saw how big that book was, and that's before the explosion of guitar picks that bands started using, right? I can't imagine a book where it goes beyond that.
I think I see a version 3 and 4 and 5 coming.
It won't be Brian. It won't be Brian that's putting that together. It's huge. Brian D'Amico actually and Scott Roderick, they're in talks of seeing maybe coming up with a website where the other collectors can submit stuff and so we can get a general consensus of whether a pick is legit and what tour it came from. And
that's cool.
So
that's awesome.
Hopefully that comes to fruition. That's a big project, and I'm willing to help out with that. But my specialty is the 80s and earlier.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Brian, where can everybody get this book?
So you can get it on my site if you want it signed or personalized. Pick-hunter.com, or it's on eBay. It's on Amazon. There's a Kindle version out there now. Working on an ebook, and we
Is
plan to
it
do.
on your eBay page?
It's on my eBay page. Yeah,
Okay.
Pick-hunter. Yeah.
So Brian's eBay store, the link is in the description.
Yeah, just click that link
down below for you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you can get one. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
Brian.
cool.
Yeah, but this man, I've spent hours. Dude, this is a lovely gift. And to everybody who collects, it is appreciated, dude.
I thought there'd be more corrections and stuff, but there's only been a few, and future editions will correct that and get better photos for some of them.
Yeah. No,
so it's only going to get better.
I don't harp on.
That's amazing.
But it is. I mean, goodness, this is. Yeah, dude. I mean,
White Lion. Yep.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to show some prototype picks in there. Just there's a lot of rarities in there that luckily I have a lot of friends who have great collections, so it was definitely a group effort, and I do appreciate everybody's help.
Yeah, we all cool. Yeah, it is a it is a lifelong thing. There are guitar picks that I'm still looking for that I hadn't seen in 5 years. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who are you looking for, Tony? Who specifically are you looking for? What's on your radar, man?
I've got a list, an autograph pick. Man, I've got a little mini list, man.
Yeah, but now with music going live again, a lot more live music, a lot more picks, T.
Yeah. So this guy right here, Brian, a couple of weeks ago went and saw Ace, and as we were live in an episode of Show Me Your Pick, he caught an Ace pick in the air.
Yeah,
live on air. We saw.
I was filming with one hand, and he tosses out like hundreds of picks during the show. He's just insane. So I'm filming, he's throwing them out, and I went like this. I wasn't even looking. I felt it in my hand, boom, and I was like, so
nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun. And I never saw Kiss before. That was the first time I saw Ace, and he killed it. It was only a couple weeks ago, but yeah.
I may still have that.
The better part of the story is, Brendan, where's that pick now?
Oh yeah, and that pick now is curated right there in Fruitcake Tony's cabinet of curiosities. So I sent that to Tony because
check your mailbox.
Nah, because it needs to live there. This show is Show Me Your Pick, and you got to keep that.
Yeah, no,
so it's awesome. It was.
Oh,
great.
I've got it. Still, I've got it. I didn't think I had it.
Okay.
Let's watch this real quick. It's short. It's very short.
Yeah.
Check it. Score! Score! Score!
That was a blast.
Way too cool.
That was so cool.
Clank.
No look catch.
Clank.
Yep. Blind catch. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
There were dudes wrestling behind me for picks. People go nuts. It's like, like guys in their 50s wrestling for picks. I'm like, dude, I'm too old for this, man.
Like people were throwing out $100 bills.
Yeah.
They sent word down to Van Halen I think on that last tour, they said don't throw any more guitar picks in the crowd, that there was a riot. And
yeah.
Eddie and Wolf were like, okay. I think Wolf still did it though.
That's great.
But yeah. Yeah, no, I've never been in a altercation.
No, I haven't either, but
like
been near one right behind me. It's crazy. People are nuts.
I like to step on the pick and just wait for the mayhem to calm down, and then I pick it up.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of those of people just like rolling, looking on the floor, or he hits you in the head and bounces off, and you try to look for it. And then everybody's leaving. You kind of look and see if anybody missed anything.
Well, with that said, years ago at a concert, I didn't tell this, we were at, this was 1985, Ratt's second headline tour, Invasion of Your Privacy. Bon Jovi's the opening act, all right, with 2 albums out, and that's it. Richie Sambora chunks one out, and you see where it goes, and nobody does anything. So after the set
Tony
and the house lights come on, I'm like, let's go over here. I know, and right where I thought, there it was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. But that's,
cool.
Sometimes it works out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I went and saw Dokken 2 with George Lynch a while back, and I was hoping Lynch was going to throw some out, but he didn't. He just handed them to the hot chicks in the front row. I'm like, come on, George, throw me a pick.
Hot chicks and kids get all the picks.
I know, right? Yep, they do. But
all right.
It's all good.
Okay, so let's give a guitar pick away.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds like an idea.
We got us a cool question.
And awesome music, too.
We do.
Yeah. All right. So, kids, we have an announcement to make. This is the last week that we're going to do trivia.
Oh, man.
Like we've been doing it. All right. But I assure you, starting next week, it's going to get really fun during trivia. All right.
It's going to be fun.
So are you ready for this? Let me show you this. All right.
Good luck, you guys.
Okay, so next week, when we do trivia, it's going to be interactive style.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fetch us a contestant
from the chat.
We're going to supply a link over in the chat, and you'll click on here with us for 10-shot rock and roll trivia.
Yeah,
right
baby.
Here on Show Me Your Pick, starting next week.
Can you beat Tea Cake?
Can you beat me? Now, how this is going to work, when we get a contestant in here in the stream, I'm going to take the headphones off and I'm going to leave. Okay? I'm going to take my phone with me. And while I'm gone, Sandra is going to be in the stream and enter the stream at this point, like that. And she is going to ask our contestant 10 questions about music and rock and roll trivia. Okay? these 10 questions have to be answered in 1 minute. We will have a timer up that everyone can see. She'll ask these questions at a fast pace. There's enough time to answer them. There's enough time to ask 10 and answer 10 in 1 minute. And she will text me when she's finished and the contestants answered their 10 questions. And I'll come back and I'll put the headphones back on. And at that point, she'll ask me the same 10 questions. Okay? And we'll see how long my winning streak is after a while. But that's what trivia is going to be starting next week. 10-shot rock and roll trivia.
Nice.
And we may change up 1 week, and you may play against that guy.
I didn't do it.
Oh, man.
That guy.
He did it.
You might even play against that guy.
Oh.
He definitely did it.
Watch your profanity.
And maybe even her sometimes.
Ooh.
Yep.
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun.
10 questions each week. Me against you. Come on.
Broad spectrum, folks. Not all
Great.
Van Halen questions. Broad spectrum.
No.
We don't think broad spectrum.
These guys will all be writing just general rock questions that we can all get or not get, but they won't be too easy and won't be too hard. But they'll be a lot of fun, and they may be theme wrapped around what we're doing that week. Who knows?
What was Ben Tom's first guitar? Yeah. Who bought it for him?
But that's going to start next week right here on Show Me Your Pick.
Ed's afraid of Charles in this game.
10-shot rock
You
and
already
roll
scared
trivia.
people, Charles. Man.
I haven't even gotten involved, you guys.
I haven't even got involved. They're dropping like flies, dude.
So this
Nelson's
is going to
done.
be this is going to be a good this is going to be fun. This will be
Gonna be fun.
It'll be interactive.
Yes, sir.
We'll try to get a different contestant each week, and we won't make it hard to find a contestant, I'm sure, but yeah,
Cool.
That's trivia. But for
Super cool.
tonight,
Super cool.
we're playing for I got the other camera rolling. A MESHUGGAH pick.
Oh, dude.
Come on now, MESHUGGAH.
It's a cool pick, bro.
That is cool.
MESHUGGAH. We got a trivia question, a little homegrown trivia question. So good luck to everybody. There is a link down in the description. Trivia winners email. Email me your name and address. I'll mail you out that MESHUGGAH guitar pick out Monday morning. Good luck.
Good
chat.
luck, you guys. Good luck, man.
Good luck.
Coming at you. We got Show Me Your Pick trivia for March the 26th. Are you ready? Get ready to type. I think it's kind of easy, so
It's gonna be quick.
yeah, it's gonna be quick. I might as well go ahead and grab it.
Grab it.
All right, here we go.
There.
Brendan B. Squared first joined us on Show Me Your Pick in October of 2020. Which band was spotlighted on his first appearance?
Do you guys know Brendan?
Where is
I already
it at?
know who I think's gonna win, but I don't know. They're not typing. I don't see any answers.
You're giving it away.
Wow.
No more hints.
No more hints. I didn't get any hints.
Oh, hey, Dwight Bailey, the hitman's in the house. I didn't see you, Dwight.
Hey, Dwight.
Good to see you, man.
Wow. Wow. You guys don't know me very well.
I'm shocked.
Me too.
You ain't getting no love here, B.
I know, and I thought
What's up?
Two of the guys that I thought were gonna get it. The Pixies? No, not the Pixies. Although I like Kim Deal. Kim Deal's good.
All
right, Janice, have a good set.
See you, Janice.
Take care, Janice.
Wow. No Keith.
All right.
Not the Sex Pistols.
Foghat, no.
I'm digging the answers there.
I do too.
All right. So,
I like
have
some
I
of
got to
these
show
bands,
it again? I guess I got to show it
yeah,
again.
you got to show that again.
So
I
Brendan
thought this was...
first joined us. I didn't put the exact date, but I just
That's okay.
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, there we go.
I think
there
I
we
see
go.
it. Yeah.
Where's it at?
Sawa.
There it is.
That's who I thought was going to get it anyway. Yes, that is my favorite band, and that's the
Shaboom.
Man, you
time I was
guys.
on.
Gotta write that down.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Christopher Live Sour getting the MESHUGGAH.
Cool.
Love.
Cool.
Getting some sugar from MESHUGGAH.
Yes, we did a Rush show that day, and actually after that show, I got a cool gift from T-Cake. It was actually on my birthday. He sent me this from the R40 tour, and it's
cool.
it's a pack of
very cool.
A pack of 4 lights. Can't see it.
I remember when you received that. Brendan.
Wooden picks. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, those are so nice.
So very cool. There's all different ones. Rush R40. Very nice. So yeah, that's
nice.
That stays right in the old safe, man.
Nice.
So it's one of my prized possessions. Rush is absolutely my favorite band, and it crushed me when Neil passed. So
yeah,
and that's crushing me again because Mr. Taylor Hawkins. It's tough, but yeah.
My daughter Taylor's not dealing with it very good. She really is a big.
While I've got it on my before I end the show and not show these guitar picks.
Shut your mouth, Chris Sawa. Triumph is not your favorite Canadian rock band. Stop it. You're just lying now. You just give me a paper cut through lemon juice in it. Man, that's rough. They're not nice to me, Brian. They're picking on me.
In honor of
horrible.
Our boy.
Chevy metal, nice.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big Rex, pretty good.
Yep. Big Rex, good. So cool.
Yeah.
And they inducted Rush into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Who saw the pic of Taylor with Neil dressed as 1979 Neil?
I did. That's awesome.
You know what I just watched on YouTube today? 1972, and he's got someone filming behind him. It's Neil Young. He goes into a record shop. He finds a bootleg vinyl they have there, and he goes, "I'm just going to take this with me." And the guy goes, "No, you can't take that and not pay for it." He goes, "Well, I'm on that record and I never got paid for it, so I'm taking the record." And they go through this whole thing. And then he calls one of the guys who's involved in getting the records to the store. And he goes, "Fine, that's fine. Just let him take it." And as he's going out, Neil Young knocks into this candle and it falls and it chips it a little bit. And he goes, "But I'm going to have to charge you for that candle." And so he gets he goes, "Do you take like American Express or Bank of America, whatever it was?" And it's a traditional credit card where you got to swipe it in the machine. He swipes it in the machine and then he has them sign it. And he takes the record, takes the candle, and
that's hilarious. Wow.
but I'd never seen that video. If you just look up Neil Young in record store, I think.
Wow, that's
so
funny.
cool. That is
He's not happy when he finds his own, bootleg record.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
crazy. That's crazy.
I'm Neil Young, man. It's my album. I'm taking it. Leave me alone.
That's what he said. He goes, I just want to let you know, just so you know, I'm taking this.
I'm going to open these things up.
Cut those open?
Yeah, so all these EVH picks, I always, for years now, were max grip, they have the little ridge things on them, but just realizing and dropping them all over the place.
Oh, man.
That they make them, and these don't have any ridges on them. They're smooth, but they're Dunlop's Tortex.
Okay.
But compared to the other ones, this side looks the same. But you can kind of tell a little bit of the difference.
Yeah, the EVH is circled.
Yeah.
And one of them, the V is big on the newer ones.
Yeah.
They're different size. They look like the one on your right hand. It's a little smaller. That one's a little bigger. That one.
This one's like a 1.0.
I mean, but yeah.
And this is the standard, one in the 0.60s.
Yeah.
But yeah, they offer these now in various gauges, like 5 different 0.60 up to 1.14.
Wow.
These are 1.0s.
Yeah, I like the 1.0 gauge. Nice thick ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, Brennan.
Yeah. But yeah, I never knew that they made them with not the max grip.
So.
Wow. Learn something new
Tony,
every day.
Ed asked that question at the bottom of the screen. It's a good one. Between you and Brian, how many picks are in your guys' collections? You have any ideas?
Wow, that is a good question.
And I have a follow-up question for Brian and a follow-up question for you, Tony, after you answer these questions.
All right. Me, it's probably 8,500 maybe.
What? 8,500?
Everything.
I didn't expect that kind of number, brother.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
A lot of picks.
That's impressive.
Well, there's multiples too.
Sure.
Lots of multiples.
Wow.
That is so cool. How about you, Brian? Any idea?
So I only have like 400 that I considered my collection of artist picks, but I have a bunch that I have, my stock picks that I sell.
Yeah.
But I have about I know if you saw in the chat, we're talking about Joe Macy. He is, for all things guitar picks, going back, 100 plus years. I consider him the professor. He's the one that knows more than anybody.
Wow.
And he passed away last summer, unfortunately. And it was a huge loss to the hobby. I was fortunate enough to get his collection. It's got to, I can't even count it. It's got to be at least 200,000 guitar picks.
Wow.
He tried to collect one of everything.
That's astounding.
I guess he succeeded.
Yeah.
Holy moly, that's crazy. It's wow.
I have it in store. I have boxes and boxes in store. It was 19 boxes full of guitar picks, one example of each.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
Are they each like labeled? I mean, you can't do that from memory. So I mean, like
so yeah, he grouped them. He was like the rest of us pick nerds. He liked to organize and
of course he did. Yeah, that's part of the whole.
And if you go on YouTube, he has a lot of videos. Joseph Macy. If you want to know the history of guitar picks, he's the man that we all look up to.
I'm gonna check that out.
That's cool.
Well, guys, I did have a follow-up question for each of you. Right now, if you had to pick 3 picks from your collection, there are only 3 that you could have and keep, what would they be?
Wow.
Only 3?
3. Only 3.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh man.
I would say my Jimi Hendrix pick that I got from Steve.
Okay.
My Stevie Ray Vaughan first, the Baby Blue guitar pick, and Eddie Van Halen, his first guitar pick.
Excellent. That's so cool. I see. Awesome. The reason I gave you 3 is because 1 would have just been an injustice and it would have been fair.
I mean, I could give you 20 or 50 that I don't want to get rid of. So
no, just 3 though. Just 3.
That's a good top 3.
Yeah. How about you, Tony? How about you, man? I mean, I know one is going to be in there.
Number 1 is going to be number 1 is the first guitar pick I ever got at a concert.
Another one better be this one. I'm just kidding. No.
Hey, it's mine, Brendan, brother.
I'm just kidding.
Right there, man. I got you.
But
I'm joking.
That would have to be that. That's the. Yeah, but there's a few. I would have a hard time parting with the one he put in my hand the following year in '82.
Oh, they can all be from the same individual.
I would have a hard time parting with any of the handful I got in '84.
Yeah.
But I would. Those are.
I hope you never have to make that choice, Tony.
Yeah.
Either you or Brian, man.
Well,
really cool.
when you collect like we do, I mean, basically, if you have the same, and most collectors of guitar picks collect rock in the classic rock or hard rock. Mm-hmm. Mostly, I collect everything from country to, but when you collect, the picks, the artist, the players. Therefore, the market value of stuff out there. Mm-hmm. And what worries me about a collection, you can insure it and care for it for 100 years, but what are my kids going to do with it when I'm gone?
Well, that's the big thing that's going on right now. There's a lot of people our age, they're having health scares, as we all know.
Yeah.
And they don't want to stick it with their spouse to have to deal with. And so you see a lot of people, longtime collectors, contemplating whether or not it's time to sell their collection before it's too late. That's the unfortunate, reality that we have. We see people, like the drummer, this morning we woke up to, 50 years old. That's young, and there's a lot of big time collectors that have passed in the last few years. So it's making us all think, especially when you have, hundreds of thousands like I do. It's just
yeah.
It's a burden to your family in a sense,
Well, it is because they're not going to know the value of
Not a
certain
clue. I certainly didn't
picks.
tell my wife what they were worth.
Yeah, and if you weren't around, God forbid, and she had to deal with it, and I imagine everyone has to deal with this every day. They can be taken advantage of.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But that actually, I had another question for you that kind of pertains to that. How has this community that you guys are involved in changed? Because you guys have been part of this now, collecting now for the last 30 years, approximately ish. How's it changed to you guys?
Well, I mean, in the early days, I thought I was like one of the only ones, doing it until the internet popped up, and I'm like, oh wow, there's a bunch of people like me. And
so
now
that literally was a defining moment, wasn't it? I imagine that.
Yeah, and now with Facebook, and there's so many Facebook groups out there dedicated to pick collecting or rock and roll memorabilia. And you go in on there, and Brandon Mullally, I keep mentioning him. He's got another group besides the fake page. He has one just dedicated to vintage picks, so artist picks from the 80s or so, where it's such a smaller world now, and the knowledge is so much more available. Back when I made the first book, it it was such a pain just to get. I have maybe even pick photos of 300 picks. There wasn't a lot of photos back then, and I had to send them by mail in this disc, CD that I had to send to everybody, and we didn't have the technology we have today, so it's a much smaller community. A lot of people know each other now, and so I'm really looking forward to the convention in the first week of June. It's the same weekend as NAMM in Anaheim, California, because a lot of these people I know for such a decade or two.
Well, I was going to say that you guys are a real tight knit group. You've got to be. And I imagine once you guys surround yourself with enough names that you trust, that's kind of your core. And you guys kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of protect each other and oversee each other's, look out for each other.
Yeah. We remember a couple of summers ago, Steve was out because he was attending your convention. Yeah.
No, he was a blast, and it's a really good crowd. So I encourage any and all pick collectors to go out there. It's just even if you don't have much of a collection, it doesn't matter. We're just there to talk picks. The camaraderie is excellent. It's just such a good time, and it's so much more fun trading and talking picks in person than online. It's fun, Facebook and messaging and emails, but in person it's a whole nother level, and it's such a good group of people. So
that was the whole premise really behind us doing this show. Me and Steve, as you know, Steve, we talked for a year. How could we bring the hobby of guitar pick collecting to a live stream internet type of format? And that's where Show Me Your Pick was born. And Steve was here until Steve does a lot of writing, but Steve spent a good year the first year. But that was the whole thing, though. As a collector, our collections historically they stay hidden in a book, whether you collect guitar picks or collect coins or whatever. It's for your eyes only most of the time, unless you share a picture online. So that was the whole idea of this show, was to talk about it, to show pics, and
you don't realize the size of the community out there until you see something like this, because I didn't know before I started watching this show and heard about it. Of course, you know about guitar picks and stuff, but then you're like, oh, wow. I mean, it's amazing, you know, and the people are great. Like you said, Brian, it's, you know, everybody sticks together and they're all for each other and helping people out and stuff. So it's really cool. It's nice that there's still outlets like that in this, you know, that you can highlight that stuff, you know?
Yeah,
I have
very cool.
I have my own personal Facebook page, but I also have my pick collecting Facebook page, and I just saw it today. I have over 1,200 pick friends, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible. It's come a long way.
Very cool, man.
You can pick your friends, and your friends can pick your picks.
But you can't pick your friend's nose with a pick.
That's
right
it.
now.
That's
no, you
it.
can't. That could go really bad.
Please don't.
Please don't. It'll ruin the finish.
Yeah.
Finish.
Nice.
All right. I am pleased to announce that over here, I'm watching that Duke is winning by a lot with very little time.
Yeah, they're winning by almost
remaining.
20 points.
Yeah.
I saw them in the other room, yeah.
They're 18 points up with 6 minutes. I think you're safe, T. But Arkansas made a good run, though.
Now, T, the question is, did you cover the spread?
I am not a gambling man.
Yeah, I don't
I know,
gamble.
that's why
Go
I said it.
Devils. Go Devils. Yeah.
Nice, man. That's
Go
good.
Devils. Yeah. So,
I wonder if Coach K is going to get a pick made. You should.
Certainly deserves one.
A commemorative pick.
We'll see a couple Mondays down the road after they win the national championship.
Yeah, okay. So, who had Keith Campbell had a question. Where's the next pick con located, Brian? I know you mentioned it before, but for those who didn't hear, it's going to be.
So
June,
it's in
you said?
California. Yeah. The first weekend in June, I think it's the 4th, 5th, and 6th is like the NAMM convention.
Okay.
So we did it in correspondence with that.
Cool.
So where's the convention, the Pick Collectors Convention will be nearby on that Saturday. And like I said, I think we got a beach house for that. John Elliott offered it up, and I'm definitely going to take him up on that offer.
Nice.
Do you need to buy tickets, or do you just show up?
No. We just
Screw
show up.
NAMM. Let's go to the beach house.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring your traders, bring your collection or whatever.
Nice.
And just hang out and BS and it's such a good time.
I can see Tea Cake there with his briefcase handcuffed to
gosh,
his hand.
I would love to go, man.
Handcuffed to
We'd
his
love to
arm.
have Tony there. Yeah. And
Goodness.
and there's we can get you a free room if you're really interested, you're having trouble with the finances.
Now, I may not come back, dude.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I took a 4-day weekend, so I'm gonna make the most of it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, I hope
Sounds
this
like fun.
grows. I'm sure it will. When did you start this, Brian?
No, it was just that one that Steve went to. That was our first one.
That was the first one, okay.
Because COVID killed the first one.
Yeah.
So we pushed it into 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
and then in next 2023 we'll go East Coast because there's a lot of people bugging me on the East Coast saying we need it over here.
Yeah, I'm in New York, so I'm looking for. I'll see.
Cool.
I'll go if it's close to me.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can bring your shovel guitars and
Oh, totally. I'll bring those.
your cigar box stuff.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. We got to have him back, T. We got to have part 2 for Brian.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Most
Thanks
appreciated.
for being here, dude.
Thanks for having me. And while I have the opportunity, again, I really appreciate all the help. Everybody, I can't tell you how many people were involved. I'm sure I missed people in the book in my acknowledgments, but everybody, it was so helpful. I can't express my appreciation to everybody, and thanks to you all too for having me on and talk guitar picks. This is the only podcast I would ever go on.
Thank you.
Because of the topic.
Brian,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, thanks,
Very
Brian.
Cool. Very cool, Brian. Thank you.
Awesome.
That was great.
Awesome.
It's a great show.
Before we get gone, let's thank Sandra for all of her efforts here. Sandra, thank you once again. Right on. And let's give a shout out if any of you guys want guitar picks made. Legend Picks will accommodate you to your design and style of guitar pick. Links are in the description. If you want a guitar built, hey, check it. Daily Custom Designs links are in the description. Neil Daly will make you something spectacular. He's making something for me right now.
He's busy.
Yeah,
He's a busy boy.
And if you kids like the guitars in the cigar box style, I know a guy.
Custom.
There it is. Brendan B Squared handcrafts these beauties, and his links are in the description.
So much fun.
Yes.
Get yourself one.
Love it.
Yeah, get yourself one today. All right, let's see. Are we missing anything? We are not. I think we have covered it all.
Yeah.
Before we get going, once again,
awesome chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Yeah.
Rest
in peace, Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah, rest easy, man.
Yeah.
Damn shame. Damn shame.
He's gonna have quite a concert up there.
Also, let's not forget about Analog Kid. Get well, buddy, and Lenny Lou. Lenny Lou and Mary, we love you guys. Get well soon.
Yeah. Get well.
Miss you guys.
And glad to see you back, Tommy. Glad to have Tommy back.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
So much better with Tommy back.
Yes.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, nice to see you, Tommy. We want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank our special guest, Brian Bouchard. Thank you, Brian. This has been awesome. We are going to be right back here next week. Hang out a moment, Brian, backstage. We'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys.
Right here. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Leroy Jenkins.
Love it. Love it.